A Step into the Past Volume 20 Chapter 8. Book 20 Chapter 8 Dainty Beauty. When Xiang Xiaolong and his 18 guards arrived at Drunken Wind Loft, Wu Fu came out personally to welcome him, and after inviting him into the side hall and asking the servants to leave, he knelt down and kowtowed. Xiang Xiaolong is long used to his flunky ways, so he stood proudly and asked with exasperation, "Please dispense with ceremony, what are you up to this time?" Wu Fu stood up in shock and said respectfully, "I wouldn't dare to use trickery in front of Commander General. This time I have important news to report to you." Xiang Xiaolong sat down and said, "Sit down and talk." Wu Fu sat down, and after looking left and right, as if afraid there's someone in the side halls, he lowered his voice and said, "Lu Bue is plotting to kill you and Wang Jian." Xiang Xiaolong chortled. Of course he's thinking about it, but whether he succeeds or not is another matter. Wu Fu said tactfully, "It was only after a long period of eavesdropping that I managed to string together all the bits of information and found out about their nefarious plot." Xiang Xiaolong remembered the metal pipes he used to eavesdrop and asked doubtfully, "Why is Lu Bue still coming here since Dan Mimi has already become the Empress of Wei?" Wu Fu said, "That's what you are unaware of. Half a year ago I spent a fortune in Chu to buy over a great beauty from you called Bai Yaya, and Lu Bue is very much enchanted with her, so he comes to Drunken Wind Loft regularly. Now Yaya has taken over Mimi's position to become the head of the four beauties. Hi! Mimi's departure almost cost me my life, but of course, I would never dare to blame Master Xiang. I do deserve the punishment." Xiang Xiaolong said with exasperation, "Stop beating around the bush, come straight to the point." Wu Fu lowered his voice and came closer. "First they are going to deal with General Wang. Because General Wang is battling at the Zhao border, there are many areas which he will need to rely on the support of Dubai and Chengqiao, and Lu Bue is going to make use of Dubai to sabotage General Wang when he is fighting against Li Mu. The outcome should be expected." As Xiang Xiaolong is not aware of the situation over that side and so have never expected such a possibility, he paled and asked, "Isn't Li Mu fighting against the Qi?" Wu Fu commented, "That could be an evil plan to lure General Wang deeper into the Zhao border." Xiang Xiaolong was shocked. "Why didn't you reveal such an important piece of news earlier? Even if I'm not in Xianyang, you can always tell Lord Chongping." Wu Fu said apologetically, "Well, I only heard bits and pieces of information, so I can't be very sure. Until the day before, Yang Yu told me that Su Shang was boasting to her that you are going to be very short-lived, that my thoughts start to clear up. Su Shang was saying that your victory in battle this time have planted the seed to your demise in future." Yang Yu was puzzled and asked him further, but he only said that no matter how formidable you are, you will not be able to win Li Mu, and he did not elaborate further. "That's why I thought that only if they cause the death of Wang Qi, will you need to meet Li Mu on the battlefield in such a short period of time, that's why." Xiang Xiaolong suddenly stood up, "Go and tell Lord Chongping that I will be there late." He then left hurriedly and went to the palace to seek an audience with Xiao Pan. Xiao Pan was having fun playing chess with his beloved concubine Wang Maiziu when he saw him arriving in such haste and knew that something urgent has happened. He immediately summoned to meet him in the inner hall. After Xiang Xiaolong expressed Wu Fu's deduction, Xiao Pan's expression changed. "This is indeed an extremely vicious plan. It's obvious that as long as Chengqiao is not eliminated, my position will always be shaky." Xiao Pan then summoned his guard and gave instructions for him to send out a messenger with a swift horse to Shangchuan and warn Wang Qi to be on his alert. "After this matter is settled," the future Emperor Qin said seriously, "if anything untoward happens to great General Wang, we'll deal with Chengqiao and Dubai immediately and get rid of these thorns in my flesh. By that time I'll want to see how Lu Bue ends up." He then smiled and said quietly, "The Crown Princess is expecting." Only now did Xiang Xiaolong suddenly realize that he has indeed grown up, and congratulated him from the bottom of his heart. Xiao Pan said worriedly, "Given the opportunity that Lu Bue and the Dowager are both not in Xianyang, it's best to give the child a good name first so they won't have the chance to change it. What suggestion does tutor have?" Xiang Xiaolong blurted out, then it must be Fusu. Xiao Pan looked at him in shock for a few moments, and just when Xiang Xiaolong was secretly cursing himself, this future Emperor Qin nodded his head. This is quite a unique name. But I'll need a name for a girl as well, so no matter if it's a boy or girl, there's already a name. Xiang Xiaolong heaved a sigh of relief. I only thought of a boy's name. Seems that this must be a baby boy, so there's no need to think of another girl's name. Xiao Pan silently mumbled the name Fusu a few times and said happily, if it's really a son, then let's call him Fusu. Xiang Xiaolong felt a little awkward, knowing that he has influenced history with his own knowledge of history. They took the opportunity to take his leave, and by the time he rushed to Drunken Wind Loft, he's already more than an hour late. Besides Lord Chongping and his brother, Li Si, Huan Qi, Jing Jun, Wang Ling, Wu Guo, Zhou Yang etc., he did not expect to see Wang Wan, Caize, Ying Ao, and Ying Lu as well, and obviously these people have leaned towards Xiao Pan's political faction. Teng Yi came only for a while because he wanted to spend time with his wife and child. Yang Yu, Gui Yan, and Bai Lei were all there with the prettier ladies of Drunken Wind Loft, providing one-to-one service, with each lady attending to a person, and the atmosphere was lively. Xiang Xiaolong was given the seat at the head of the table, and the Yu beauty Bai Yaya have been waiting a long time for him to arrive. This lady was dressed in Chu garb, about 18 years old and indeed very pretty, comparable to Dan Mimi. Not only is she refined but most enchantingly, she is very gentle, her pretty eyes filled with intense feelings. Her voice is sweet and soft, and indeed she is a rare treasure. No wonder Wu Fu can use her to handle Lu Buwei, who had suffered the loss of Dan Mimi. But when he thought of how ultimately, her fate may end up to become Lu Buwei's concubine, he felt sad. Before Xiang Xiaolong could even warm his seat, he was made to drink 3 cups of wine as punishment and raised his arms in surrender. If I go on drinking, I'm afraid I'll have to be carried out immediately. Everyone, please have mercy on me and let me off this time. Wang Wan laughed. Last night Lord Xiang only collapsed after drinking more than 20 cups, so tonight you must at least drink another 7 cups before we forgive you for coming late. Just as they were arguing, Bai Yaya smiled delicately and said, then let Yaya drink a few cups of punishment wine in Great General's place. Everyone shouted their agreement. Caize said with a smile, but this punishment wine must first go into Great General's mouth first before our Yaya can drink on his behalf. There was another uproar of agreement. Bai Yaya whined as she fell into Xiang Xiaolong's arms, her pretty eyes half closed and her sweet face blushing, like a little bird leaning towards him. Although Xiang Xiaolong has long gotten used to such lascivious styles in this warring states period, but because this youthful beauty is so hot and fresh, he felt excited, and making use of his slightly intoxicated stage and the cheers of everyone, he enjoyed her fragrant lips thoroughly. Only then did they let him off. Ying Ao said with a smile, I heard that after Pang Nuan lost in the war, the other states in the coalition army all berated him for being careless and stretching himself too far, and lost this great opportunity to defeat us Qins, and now his reputation is in tatters. Seems that it will be quite impossible for them to come together again. Ying Lu added, after the defeat, everyone is trying to push the blame to others. At the Battle of Ziwicheng this time, the ones who left the earliest were the Chus, so now they've become the target of blame for the others, and everyone is very unhappy. The 5 states will be on bad terms for quite some time. Li Si clapped his hands, tonight we will only speak of enjoyment and not business. The dainty swallow dance which was prepared for Xiaolong should be able to start now. Lord Chongping made an eye signal at Wu Fu, who was seated at the end of the table, and the latter hurriedly left to make arrangements. Jing Jun said with a laugh, just by seeing how our Lord Minister of Justice is even more nervous than third brother, we know how attractive Feng Fei can be. Everyone expressed their agreement, and Li Si, who seldom steps into such places of entertainment, became extremely embarrassed. Xiang Xiaolong was totally relaxed as he enjoyed the feeling of camaraderie among them. Bai Yaya leaned closer and whispered in his ears, Master Xiang did not harbor grudges and helped Miss Mimi become her Queen of Wei, all the sisters in Drunken Wind Loft are extremely grateful. Xiang Xiaolong lowered his voice to ask, so won't whole city learn of this matter? Bai Yaya said with a smile, this is called good news travel far. Now Master Xiang just have to crook your fingers and everyone will come running to help Master Xiang spend the night. Of course Xiang Xiaolong did not believe her because at least Gian alone hates him to the core. Bai Yaya looked at him coquettishly and asked shyly, I wonder if Yaya would be able to receive Master Xiang's attention. Xiang Xiaolong saw that she was entirely bewitching and the fatal point is that she is so graceful that he can't help but feel a surge of lust and said quietly, not tonight, let me see when. Bai Yaya breathed out softly into his ear as she nibbled his lobes and said, daytime is fine as well, then Master Xiang's wives won't find out. Xiang Xiaolong thought of his dedicated wives at home and immediately awoke from the haze. He was about to tactfully reject her when Wu Fu came in with a look of helplessness, attracting everyone's attention. Lord Chongping knows that something has gone wrong and asked, is the beauty blaming us for being late? Wu Fu replied bitterly, seems like that's the case. Miss Fei have returned to her quarters to sleep and no matter what good words I say, it's of no use. Strangely not only is everyone not feeling that she's throwing airs, but they think that what she has done is very reasonable indeed. Lord Chen Guen smiled, Xiaolong's the one who caused all this trouble and offended our dainty beauty. I suggest that Xiaolong should go apologize and pacify her back here. Xiang Xiaolong exclaimed, what? For some reason Li Si was especially excited and he actually agreed, the dainty beauty will be going to Wei the day after, Xiaolong you better go quick and think of a way. Huan Qi asked in surprise, are you people actually here to congratulate Great General Xiang or to see the dainty beauty? Lord Chongping and the rest all roared out in laughter. The situation was chaotic but very interested as well. Xiang Xiaolong's curiosity was piqued and he reluctantly stood up and sighed, I will try my best but if I get thrown back here, all of you must not blame me. Amidst thunderous applause, Xiang Xiaolong followed Wu Fu out but he had only taken a few steps when Jing Jun, Wu Guo and Lord Wenchang ran out after him, saying that they want to see what happens from the door. Xiang Xiaolong was influenced by the playful atmosphere and gathered up the valor he had when he was fighting and creating trouble during the 21st century and led the three of them, with Wu Fu leading the way, towards the buildings at the back. In a quiet corner at the backyard of Drunken Wind Loft, next to the pond there was a small wooden cottage, looking very antique and exquisite with the fragrance of flowers surrounding it. Wu Fu said, that's where Feng Fei lives. Her personal maid is very fierce, she was the one who kept me out earlier. Jing Jun was taken aback, doesn't she know you're the boss? How dare she be so rude to you? Wu Fu replied, she's specially invited by the Crown Princess to perform at the Dowager's birthday feast, would I dare to offend them? Only now did Xiang Xiaolong understand what's happening and he was slightly less worried. He gave a dry cough and said, watch me. He had just taken a step when Lord Wenchang pulled him back with a reminder, I heard that Feng Fei is as light as a swallow, and she is quite skilled so Great General better not let her kick you into the pond. The three of them laughed over his misfortune at the same time, their attitude extremely irritating. Xiang Xiaolong cursed silently, swept Lord Wenchang aside and walked towards the cottage with his chest puffed up. The wooden door opened easily as he pushed but the lower level of the cottage was quiet with no one around. Xiang Xiaolong took a look around and saw the stairs leading up to the second level so he took a deep breath to steady his nerves before going up the stairs. The wooden steps creaked under his feet and the sound can indeed make one nervous. A clear, crisp voice came from above, who's that? Xiang Xiaolong did not answer deliberately and when he reached the second level, a handsome-looking young boy lifted the curtain to the room and walked right into him. Both of them were equally shocked. Xiang Xiaolong did not expect himself to knock into a pretty boy instead of a pretty maid, while the other party did not expect a strange man to find his way upstairs. Xiang Xiaolong took a quick glance inside but because the door curtains were dense and heavy, naturally he could not see anything at all. The thought of it is quite funny. In the short span of 2 years, He had met with 3 famed courtesans and at least one of them tried to take his life. And then they left. The Spring-Autumn Warring States period is indeed a unique, splendid, and very uninhibited era. Even though everyone is constantly at war, but amidst the partings and reunions, the Qi people can go to Wei, the Wei people can enter Qin, the Yan people comes down south while the Chu people went up north, selling their skills in exchange for fame and fortune or traveling and expounding their studies and theories. Everyone is fighting for a chance to shine, like thousands of flowers blooming at the same time. A world-famous courtesan like Feng Fei has superseded the fights amongst the states. No matter where she goes, she is well respected and can throw tantrums whenever she likes, put on airs whenever she likes. If he had not seen it with his own eyes, it'll really be very difficult to imagine. The 3 famed courtesans came one after another to Xianyang, and this goes to show that Xianyang has become one of the center of the arts in the world, and that's what attracted them here because of various reasons. Just as he was pondering, the handsome young boy shouted angrily, "Who are you? How dare you barge into a lady's private chambers?" Xiang Xiaolong saw that he is guarding outside the door with such hostility, so he replied with a slight smile, "I am Xiang Xiaolong and I've come especially to seek forgiveness with Miss Feng." There was no response from inside at all. Xiang Xiaolong had expected her to put on airs, so he was not embarrassed. He took 2 steps towards the pretty boy and was almost face to face with her. The pretty boy's nose and forehead creased at the same time, as if afraid that Xiang Xiaolong would have body odor, but he did not scold him at all, for example, scolding him for being rude. The pretty face looks almost displeased but not yet, and is extremely alluring. Xiang Xiaolong's heart lurched and he said quietly, "If young lady would make way, I'll go in to see Miss Feng, but if young lady disallows, I have no choice but to leave immediately." He deliberately lifted his voice so that Feng Fei, who is inside, can hear everything clearly. The pretty kid is obviously not Xiang Xiaolong's match and was totally at a loss, not knowing how to deal with him. A gentle, sweet lady's voice rang out from within the room, "Little sister, please let Lord Xiang come in for a talk." The pretty kid called out in acknowledgement and lowered her head as she stood aside, giving him access to the room. Xiang Xiaolong gave a smile in reply before stepping over the ledge and lifting the curtains into the room. He did not expect the hall inside to be even wider and bigger than the outer hall. There were windows on 3 sides, and on the left, a bamboo curtain segregated the living quarters where the bed is placed. Feng Fei was seated on the floor, leaning on a soft pillow with a long table in front of her with a 5-stringed zither on it. She looked as if she's elegant, rapturous, and warmly comfortable. The leader of the 3 famed courtesans lifted her melon seed-shaped face and looked towards him, her jewel-like bright eyes matched with her fair and pinkish skin exuding an attractive aura which seems to come from within her, made Xiang Xiaolong's eyes brighten. But what is most attractive about her is her air of heart-rending gracefulness, which anyone would take pity on upon seeing her. This made him think of Li Yunyan, who is far away within the Chu borders. Any man who shows concern and protection of ladies will not bear to hurt her. Just by sitting there casually, she has already displayed the most attractive and alluring pose a woman can make to perfection. Her dainty and striking body makes one have the urge to press her down with one's body. No wonder even Tu Xian is extremely interested in her as well. Her ability to enchant men is indeed better than Qi Sufang and Lan Gongnuan. Just as the 2 of them were measuring up each other, the little girl outside who was disguised as a boy called out, "Missy, do you want tea or wine?" Xiang Xiaolong shook his head, "It's all right, I'm here especially to apologize to Miss and wouldn't dare to disturb your tranquility." Feng Fei guffawed, "Tranquility? Living in a mundane world, how can there be tranquility? Lord Xiang, please take a seat. Lass, prepare tea for our guest." When Xiang Xiaolong sat down, he suppressed the urge to give her the once-over and just looked straight ahead. Just as he was about to speak, Feng Fei asked gently, "It's not like Lord Xiang's style to come and apologize, I wonder if you were coerced or did you come willingly?" Xiang Xiaolong was taken aback, "It's the first time I met Miss, but why do you seem so knowledgeable about me?" Feng Fei smiled and replied slowly, Xian Xiaolong is the most talked about person amongst the powerful circles in all 6 states. I've heard so many things about you. Besides, before I came to Qin I've heard of Lady Mimi of Wei speak of you, so of course I should have an impression of you. Xiang Xiaolong was stunned. Miss Feng deliberately refused to perform this time. Is it because? Hi. Is it because? Feng Fei seemed very interested as she encouraged him. Why are you hesitating? Just speak your mind. Xiang Xiaolong said wryly, I wanted to ask if this is a deliberate trick by Miss to make me come here to see you, but I'm afraid my frankness will shock you, that's why I was hesitating. You must find this a joke. Feng Fei let out a tinkling laughter. Her mesmerizing eyes glanced at him as she lifted her slender left hand and lowered her head to look at the shiny and exquisite silver ring at her little finger, saying gently, Lord Xiang's guess is correct, but I'm afraid you did not expect that Feng Fei is up to no good this time. This silver ring is made by a talented smith from Wei and can shoot out poisoned needles, injecting poisoned liquid into a person's body. If it's shot at the right position, the person shot will die very swiftly of poison. Xiang Xiaolong was taken aback. If that's the case, why is Miss Feng telling me that? Feng Fei took off the ring nonchalantly and threw it down on the ground and said tenderly, because I've changed my mind. Until I came to Qin and saw Ying Zhang did I understand why all these talented people like Shang Yang, Gong Sun Yan, Zhang Yi, Gan Mao, Lu Huan, Fan Wei, Caize, Li Si, Lu Buwei, and Xiang Xiaolong were willing to work under the Qin royalty. Even though Zhao has Li Mu and Lian Po, but they still lost battle after battle, and Lord Xinling have to end up committing suicide by drinking poisoned wine. The Hans are idling in their own state. The Yans think too highly of themselves, the Qis are just all talk while the Chus are engrossed in enjoyment. The 6 eastern states have lost their power, so why should I become the bad guy in vain and end up losing my life as well? Xiang Xiaolong did not expect her to say something so intellectual and shook his head and sighed, Miss Feng is indeed a rare lady. But I still do not understand why Miss Feng is so frank. If you do not disclose this, no one would know about this matter. Feng Fei said happily, you silly, because I've taken a liking to you. That's why I'm reminding you. Now Lord Xiang is the person that all the eastern 6 states would like to kill the most. So you must not trust anyone, including those friends whom you have once helped in the past. Xiang Xiaolong looked at her in shock, unable to speak for now. Feng Fei covered her mouth and laughed, please do not misunderstand. Taken a liking to you does not equal to giving you my heart. It's just that I feel that you are truly a hero who deserves your good reputation, and it'll be very difficult for me to forget you in future. That's all. Xiang Xiaolong immediately heaved a sigh of relief, yet at the same time felt a little dejected. This Feng Fei is even more unfathomable than Shi Su Feng. Feng Fei looked outside the window and said gently, it's late. Unless Lord Xiang wants me to accompany you to bed, otherwise I will have to go into dreamland and search for the beautiful dream that I cannot find in real life. I'll be leaving Qin early tomorrow morning. Xiang Xiaolong almost wanted to blurt out and ask her to stay so that he will not miss this opportunity that he may regret for the rest of his life, but when he thought of his dutiful wives at home, he had no choice but to stand up and take his leave. Li Si will have to be disappointed tonight. He had just walked down the stairs when Jing Jun rushed in and said, Meng Ao has passed away.